Hey everyone, welcome back to the homestead. I am Nadine, and we finally got our new quail hutch. But before I can put it together, there's something I need to do first. So when I contacted Dale about the quail hutches, I got this from Dale's Quails. I can leave a link to his Facebook page in the details below. But when I contacted him, I had a very special request, and that would be that this be shipped without wire. The reason for that is I have rolls upon rolls upon rolls and of just wire laying around. And so I really didn't need to purchase wire since I already had it. And one of the things that I want to just get cleaned up and out of the way is my old rabbit cages. My old rabbit cages, I use the 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth, which is what I want to be using for the new quail hutch. But first things first, I have to take all of those cages apart. So that is what I'm going to be starting on today. And I wanted to bring you guys along because there's a neat little trick to getting the J clips or the cage clips off and get the cages all taken apart, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's go ahead back to the greenhouse area. That's where we have them stacked. I'm gonna grab a couple tools and I'll meet you guys back there. All right, here is my stack of old rabbit cages. My kids flattened this one, so I might be able to save like the top and bottom panels. Some of them are kind of warped from sitting all year, but I'm hoping that I can save the majority of these panels so that I can reuse them for quail hutches or even grow out cages for rabbits, or quite possibly a meat bird tractor for next season. But like I said, I just want to get this tower down and get all of the panels nice and flat and stored somewhere out of the weather so that they stop rusting and just overall getting destroyed. So what you're going to need for this project is a pair of needle nose pliers. It's these. Sorry, I don't have a tripod at the moment, so bear with me here. Some wire cutters, a hammer, and believe it or not, a nail, and then a box to put all your, or a bin or a trash can or something to put all of your scrap clips or hog rings or whatever in, so they're not all over the ground. So let me get you guys set up on my tripod here, and I'll start taking apart these cages, and I'll show you what you need this nail for. All right, so I got my cage down here, and we're going to use the wire cutters mostly for removing the hog rings. Those are the clips that actually there aren't any in here. They're the ones that just look like a circle. But for the J clips or cage clips, we're going to be using a nail and a hammer. So what you want to do to get rid of these is you're going to slide the tip of your nail into the opening of the J-clip like this, and then just tap it in so it's all the way through, and then using your needle nose pliers, just twist it and it pops that J-clip or cage clip right off. So that's how you use a nail to get your cage clips or J-clips off of your DIY cages. So there is a problem when you do use the nail to get the J-clips off, and I'm finding that with these DIY cages. I used hardware cloth for my cages. Now, hardware cloth is great for a lot of things, but I'm finding that it's really not as sturdy as a lot of people make it out to be. So it's great for certain things like using it for, fencing on your run, using it as a pest barrier underneath your gardens, but it just doesn't hold up to the abuse of constant wear and tear. So I'm finding that although this worked really well for the bottom of the cage where it has a heavier wire, let me show you. This is the bottom of my cage. It's 1/2 inch by 1 inch actual cage wire. And this wire is a thicker gauge wire to begin with than the hardware cloth, as you can see. So it's going to be able to handle a little bit more wear and tear than this hardware cloth is. So removing all of the cage clips along the bottom edge of the cage using this nail trick worked beautifully, but I'm having this problem where it's cage wire against cage wire. It's just not strong enough to handle the twisting of the nail. So let me show you here if I can. So I have my nail in the cage clip, but when I go to twist it to open that cage clip up, the cage wire is just twisting with the pressure of the nail. And so I don't think that my nail trick is going to work and help me save these cages. So despite my efforts to save them as best I can, I might just have to cut 1/2 inch off of every side of these wire panels. And although I'll be losing 1 inch, I'll be saving the rest of the panel. And quite honestly, probably saving myself a little bit of headache trying to get these all off with the nail. So I think that's just what I'm going to end up doing, is just using the wire cutters, cutting that 1/2 inch off of each side, and just calling it a day. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's just the way it is. Alrighty, so I got one cage completely dismantled. This is just what scrap pieces are left over. I just folded them up real nice. These are the panels that I figured were worth saving. There's minimal damage, and so I can reuse them for something else. I do have quite a stack of cages left to go, but I figure I'm not going to record taking all of them apart. You kind of saw how it went with the first one, so it's pretty much going to be the same way for the rest of these cages. If you guys have any questions or shoot advice on how to better get these apart, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to grow where you're planted.